Severe weather is not slowing down, and the situation is becoming increasingly concerning as another major outbreak is possible over the next few days. Starting today, a large and active stretch of severe weather is expected to develop across the United States, extending from Texas all the way into the Great Lakes region. The highest threat is focused across parts of Oklahoma and Iowa, where conditions are becoming favorable for dangerous storm development. These storms will have the potential to produce damaging winds, very large hail, and multiple tornadoes. Some of these tornadoes could become strong, especially later in the afternoon and into the evening hours. However, what makes this situation more serious is that today is not expected to be the peak of this event. An even more significant severe weather outbreak is likely to develop on Friday, bringing the potential for widespread damaging winds, extremely large hail, and intense tornado activity. This is an evolving and active weather pattern, and it is far from over. As we take a closer look at today's setup, the Storm Prediction Center has outlined a large slight risk area stretching from Pennsylvania back into Texas, along with a marginal risk extending from New England into parts of West Texas. Within these areas, all severe weather hazards are possible. There is also a growing concern that parts of the Midwest could see an upgrade in risk level as the day progresses, especially if atmospheric conditions become more supportive of stronger storm development. One of the primary threats today will be damaging winds. Wind gusts between 50 and 70 miles per hour are expected in scattered areas. While this is similar to what has been observed over the past few days, it remains dangerous and capable of causing damage to structures, trees, and power lines. Large hail is another major concern. In some areas, particularly where isolated supercells develop, hailstones could reach up to 3 inches in diameter. That is roughly the size of an apple, and it can cause significant damage to vehicles, roofs, and windows. The greatest hail threat appears to be focused from Omaha through Des Moines into Davenport and parts of southwest Wisconsin. A similar threat also exists from Wichita, Kansas, back into areas near Abilene, Texas. Alongside wind and hail, the risk of tornadoes is a major concern today. The window for tornado development will likely begin around 2 p.m. and continue through midnight. Areas at risk include parts of Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Iowa, and the Dallas-Fort Worth region. Some of these tornadoes could become strong, especially if storms remain discrete, meaning they develop as individual rotating cells rather than merging into large clusters. There are already indications of a heightened tornado risk in certain locations. For example, Des Moines is under a hatched tornado risk area, which suggests the potential for stronger tornadoes. A similar risk exists in the Red River Valley, including areas near Wichita Falls and extending towards Springfield, Missouri. This setup raises concerns for a potentially significant tornado day, depending on how storms evolve. As we move into the timing of today's storms, development is expected to begin early in the afternoon. Around 1 p.m., storms may begin forming just south of Des Moines. These storms are expected to intensify quickly and may begin rotating shortly after forming. By 2 p.m., multiple storm cells are expected to develop, particularly near Davenport. If these storms remain isolated, the risk for strong tornadoes will increase. As the afternoon progresses into the 3 to 4 p.m. time frame, storms are expected to rapidly intensify across northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and eastern Iowa. One key factor today is the lack of widespread morning storms, which allows the atmosphere to remain highly unstable. This instability increases the potential for stronger storms later in the day. By around 5 p.m., multiple rotating storms are expected across Missouri, southern Iowa, and areas near the Iowa-Illinois-Wisconsin border. At this point, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds will all be possible. There is still some uncertainty in how the day will unfold. It is possible that storms become more clustered, which would limit the tornado threat. However, if storms remain more isolated, the environment is supportive of stronger and potentially more dangerous tornadoes. By 6 p.m., storms are expected to approach major cities such as Chicago, Milwaukee, and Kenosha. As these storms move eastward, they may begin to merge into clusters, increasing the risk of widespread damaging winds. Later in the evening, between 8 and 9 p.m., attention shifts toward southern Michigan, including areas like Detroit and Flint. Here, a more significant damaging wind threat may develop, along with the possibility of embedded tornadoes within storm lines. Further south across Texas and Oklahoma, isolated supercells may also develop during the afternoon and evening. Areas near Dallas, Fort Worth, and Oklahoma City could see storms capable of producing large hail and possibly strong tornadoes. A key factor in these southern areas will be how storms initiate. If only a few isolated storms develop, the tornado threat could increase significantly. However, if storms form in large clusters, the tornado risk may be lower, with damaging winds becoming the primary concern. Looking ahead to Thursday, the severe weather threat shifts toward the Northeast, the Ohio Valley, and parts of the Mississippi Valley. While some damaging winds and hail are possible, the overall threat level appears lower compared to today. There is also a small tornado risk in parts of New York and New England, but it is not expected to be widespread. By Friday, the situation becomes much more serious again. A large and dangerous severe weather outbreak is expected to develop across a wide region, stretching from Wisconsin down into Texas and Oklahoma. This event could bring widespread severe thunderstorms with all hazards possible. Damaging winds could reach between 60 and 80 miles per hour. Hail could become very large, and multiple tornadoes, including strong ones, are possible. Initial storms on Friday are expected to develop during the afternoon as discrete supercells. These storms will have a high potential for tornado formation due to strong wind shear and favorable atmospheric conditions. As the evening progresses, these storms are expected to merge into a large squall line, producing widespread damaging winds across multiple states, including Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, and Wisconsin. Embedded tornadoes within this line will also be possible, making it a dangerous and fast-moving system. There is also concern for a nighttime tornado threat in parts of Texas and Oklahoma, which adds an additional level of danger since storms may occur while people are sleeping. As we move into Saturday, the storm system will continue eastward into the Ohio Valley, bringing additional rounds of severe weather, including damaging winds and a few tornadoes. By Sunday, conditions are expected to calm down across most of the country, providing a temporary break from the active weather pattern. However, looking further ahead, there are indications that more severe weather could return by the middle to end of next week, suggesting that this active pattern is not finished yet. Over the next several days, it will be important to stay aware of changing weather conditions, especially in areas under higher risk. Weather can change quickly in setups like this, and conditions may become dangerous with little warning. Staying informed and prepared will be key as this multi-day severe weather event continues to unfold.